You're about to witness something that's going to shake the entire wrestling world to its core. What starts as absolute dominance is about to cross a line that nobody saw coming. Before this night is over, Jade Cargill is going to make a statement so powerful, so controversial, that the wrestling community will be debating it for months. This is the moment where respect dies and ruthless aggression is born. This is where a competitor becomes something else entirely. And trust me, you need to see every single second of what's about to go down. The atmosphere inside this arena is absolutely electric right now. You can feel it in your chest, that rumble, that anticipation. The crowd is on their feet before the bell even rings because they know what's coming. They know that when Jade Cargill steps through those ropes, somebody's night is about to get ruined. And tonight, her opponent is standing across the ring, trying to look confident, trying to show no fear. But you can see it in her eyes. That flicker. That doubt. Because everyone knows what Jade Cargill does to people who stand in her way. The referee signals for the bell. That sound echoes through the arena like a gunshot, and immediately, Jade takes 2 steps forward. Not running. Not rushing, just walking with this cold, calculated confidence that sends chills down your spine. Her opponent tries to create some space, circling around, looking for an opening, any opening to get some offense going. But Jade? She's just watching, waiting, like a predator that knows the prey has nowhere to run. And then it happens. Jade lunges forward with lightning speed, grabbing her opponent by the arm and whipping her into the ropes with such force that you can hear the impact from the top row. The opponent bounces back, and Jade catches her with a shoulder tackle that lifts her completely off the ground. The crowd erupts because they just witnessed pure power. We're talking about a woman who makes throwing another human being look effortless. The opponent crashes to the mat, and you can see the wind just knocked out of her. She's trying to catch her breath, trying to process what just hit her, but there's no time to recover. Jade is already stalking her, pulling her up by the hair with one hand like she weighs nothing. The referee tries to warn her about the hair pull, but Jade doesn't even acknowledge it. She's locked in. She's on a mission. And that mission is total destruction. Now listen, before we go any further into this absolute war, I need you to do something for me. If you're feeling the intensity right now, if your heart is racing watching this unfold, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. Join the Slam Zone family. We break down the most intense, the most emotional, the most controversial moments in wrestling history, and we do it every single week. Your support means everything to this channel. It keeps us going. It lets us bring you more content like this. So please, hit subscribe, smash that notification bell so you never miss a moment, and drop a comment down below telling me what you think is about to happen. Are you Team Jade, or do you think she's going too far? Let me know. Now let's get back to this chaos. Jade drags her opponent to the corner, and you can see the fear setting in now. This isn't just about winning anymore. This is about sending a message. Jade props her up against the turnbuckles and steps back, measuring her up. The crowd knows what's coming. They're chanting her name, Jade, Jade, Jade. The energy is building to a fever pitch. And then she charges in with a running splash that crushes her opponent between her body and the steel turnbuckles. The impact is sickening. You can hear the air forced out of her lungs. The opponent slumps down in the corner, and for a moment, you think maybe Jade will go for a pin. Maybe she'll end this quickly. But no. She backs up again. She's not done. She hits another running splash. And another. The crowd is going absolutely insane because they're watching brutality in its purest form. 3 consecutive splashes, each one harder than the last. When Jade finally steps back, her opponent just slides down to a seated position, barely conscious, eyes glazed over. The referee checks on her, asking if she can continue, but Jade doesn't give him time to make a decision. She pulls her opponent up again, dragging her to the center of the ring. And here's where things start to shift. Here's where you can feel something changing in the atmosphere. Jade isn't just wrestling anymore. She's proving a point. She's making an example. She lifts her opponent up for a delayed vertical suplex, holding her straight up in the air. 10 seconds. 15 seconds. 20 seconds. All the blood is rushing to her opponent's head while Jade stands there, completely stable, not even straining. The crowd is counting along, and you can hear the disbelief in their voices. This is a display of pure physical dominance that we rarely see at this level. When Jade finally drops her down, the ring shakes from the impact. The opponent's back arches in pain, and she's just lying there, completely helpless. But Jade isn't going for the cover. She stands over her fallen opponent, flexing, posing, soaking in the reaction from the crowd. And this is where you start to see the controversy brewing. Some fans are cheering, celebrating the dominance. But others are starting to boo. They're seeing this turn from competition into something darker. Something mean-spirited. Jade pulls her opponent up once more, and you can see she's completely deadweight at this point. There's no fight left. No resistance. And Jade locks in her finishing position. The crowd knows what's coming. The Jaded. Her devastating sit-out powerbomb that has ended careers. But here's the thing, she's not rushing it. She's taking her time, walking around the ring with her opponent on her shoulders, showing her off like a trophy. The disrespect is palpable now. The boos are getting louder, mixing with the cheers in this chaotic symphony of reactions. And then boom. She drives her opponent down with the Jaded, and the impact is absolutely devastating. The opponent's body bounces off the mat and lies completely motionless. The referee immediately slides into position for the count. 1. The crowd counts along. 2. This is academic at this point. 3. The bell rings, and it's over. Jade Cargill has won in absolutely dominant fashion. But here's where everything changes. Here's where the controversy really ignites. Instead of celebrating, instead of having her hand raised and moving on, Jade stands over her fallen opponent. She places one boot on her chest, posing like a hunter over her kill. The referee is trying to get her to back off, trying to check on the opponent who still hasn't moved, but Jade just stares down at her with this cold expression. No emotion, no remorse, just pure, ruthless satisfaction. The crowd is now heavily booing. What started as appreciation for her dominance has turned into disapproval for how she's handling victory. There's winning, and then there's humiliation. And right now, Jade is crossing that line. She finally removes her boot and walks to the corner, demanding the referee raise her hand, which he reluctantly does. But the celebration feels hollow because half the arena is booing her out of the building. The opponent is being checked on by medical staff now, and they're calling for additional help. This isn't just selling the move. She's genuinely hurt. And Jade? She's at the top of the turnbuckle, flexing for the cameras, completely unbothered by the chaos she's caused. This is the statement she wanted to make. This is the message she wanted to send. I am unstoppable, and if you step in the ring with me, I will destroy you. As Jade finally exits the ring, walking up the ramp with this arrogant swagger, the camera catches her face. And there's not a trace of regret, not a hint of concern, just satisfaction. She knows she's going to be talked about. She knows this is going to spark debates. And that's exactly what she wants. Real quick, if you're still watching this, I appreciate you so much. This is the kind of moment that defines careers, that creates legends and villains. And we're breaking it all down right here on Slam Zone. If you haven't already, please hit that like button right now. It helps this video reach more wrestling fans who need to see this analysis. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this every single week. And share this video with your wrestling friends because I guarantee they're going to want to talk about what we just witnessed. Now let's talk about what this means moving forward. This match, this moment, is going to define Jade Cargill's character going forward. There's a fine line between being dominant and being a bully, between being confident and being cruel. And tonight, Jade Cargill didn't just cross that line, she demolished it. She showed the entire roster that she's not here to make friends. She's not here for sportsmanship. She's here to hurt people and collect wins, and she doesn't care what anyone thinks about it. Now let's talk about the opponent for a moment. This woman came into this match knowing it would be tough, knowing she was the underdog, but she showed up. She stepped into that ring with one of the most physically imposing wrestlers in the world today, and she gave it her best shot. The problem was, her best shot wasn't nearly enough. And the way this ended, the way Jade treated her after the match, that's going to stick with her. That's going to haunt her career. Because now she's not just the woman who lost to Jade Cargill. She's the woman who got embarrassed by Jade Cargill. She's the example, the warning to everyone else. And that's what makes this so controversial. Because in wrestling, we celebrate dominance. We love seeing powerful athletes showcase their abilities. But there's an unwritten code of respect. You beat your opponent, you get your hand raised, and you move on. What you don't do is humiliate them. What you don't do is stand over them like they're beneath you. That's where Jade crossed the line tonight. The wrestling world is going to be divided on this. You're going to have people arguing that Jade was just being a dominant competitor, that she was establishing herself as the alpha predator of the division. They'll say this is exactly what a monster heel should do, that she's playing her role perfectly. And you know what? They're not wrong. From a character perspective, this is brilliant. This makes people care. This makes people tune in to see what she does next, whether they're cheering for her or desperately hoping someone finally puts her in her place. But on the other side, you're going to have people saying this was unnecessary, that it was cruel, that it showed a lack of professionalism and respect for her opponent who was already beaten. They'll argue that great wrestlers don't need to humiliate their opponents to get over. They can be dominant while still showing respect to the people sharing the ring with them. And that argument has merit too. Here's what I think. I think Jade Cargill knew exactly what she was doing tonight. This wasn't a moment of emotion or adrenaline. This was calculated. This was planned. She wanted to create controversy. She wanted people talking. She wanted to establish herself as not just another wrestler, but as a force that changes the entire atmosphere when she's around. And in that sense, mission accomplished. Because right now, hours after this match, the entire wrestling world is talking about Jade Cargill. Social media is exploding. Wrestling news sites are running stories. Everyone has an opinion. And that's the genius of it, whether you agree with her methods or not. In an industry where getting attention is everything, where being memorable is the ultimate currency, Jade Cargill just made a deposit that's going to pay dividends for months. Every wrestler in the back is now watching her differently. Every fan is now invested in her story, whether they love her or hate her. And that's power. Real power. The question now becomes, where does she go from here? Does she continue down this path of ruthless aggression, destroying everyone in her way without mercy? Does she take it even further, finding new ways to disrespect and dominate her opponents? Or does someone finally step up and give her a taste of her own medicine? Because make no mistake, every time you show this level of disrespect, you're painting a target on your back. You're motivating people to train harder, to want to be the one who finally humbles you. And that's what makes wrestling beautiful. That's what makes moments like this matter. because now we have a story. Now we have stakes. Now we have emotion and investment from the audience. People are going to tune in next week desperate to see what happens next. Will Jade Cargill apologize? Doubtful. Will she double down? Probably. Will someone confront her? Hopefully. Because that's the payoff we're all waiting for. This is the kind of moment that creates legendary feuds. Somewhere in that locker room, there's a wrestler watching this footage, getting angry, getting motivated. They're seeing how Jade treated that opponent, and they're thinking, that could have been me. That could be my friend. Someone needs to stop her. And when that person finally steps up, when they finally get their hands on Jade Cargill, the crowd is going to explode. The match is going to be electric. Because it will mean something. It won't just be two wrestlers competing. It will be justice, karma, payback. That's the power of what we witnessed tonight. Jade Cargill didn't just win a match. She created a moment that will ripple through storylines for months. She positioned herself as the ultimate villain that everyone wants to see defeated. And in wrestling, that's worth more than gold. That's what legends are made of. So here's what I want you to do. Before you click away, before you move on to the next video, I want you to be part of the story. Hit that like button if you think Jade Cargill went too far tonight. Subscribe to Slam Zone and join our family of passionate wrestling fans who break down these moments together. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you Team Jade, or do you want to see someone humble her? Who should step up next? What should the consequences be? Your voice matters in this community, and I read every single comment. We're building something special here, and your support means everything. Share this video with your wrestling crew because I guarantee they have opinions on this, and we need to keep this conversation going. What happened tonight is bigger than one match. It's about respect. It's about legacy. It's about how far is too far when you're trying to prove you're the best. Jade Cargill made her statement loud and clear. She is dominant. She is powerful. And she absolutely does not care what you think about how she wins. Whether that makes her a brilliant competitor or a disrespectful bully is up to you to decide. But one thing is certain. After tonight, nobody is going to forget the name Jade Cargill. Nobody is going to forget what she did in that ring. And nobody is going to forget the line she crossed between dominance and disrespect. This is the moment her legacy truly began. And we were all here to witness it. This is Slam Zone, where we break down the moments that matter, the moments that create controversy, the moments that define careers. Thank you for being part of this journey. I'll see you in the next breakdown. Until then, keep debating, keep discussing, and never stop being passionate about this beautiful sport we love. Peace.